If your note C sounds weird when you're trilling, you might not be using the right trill key. Let's check and make sure you're using the correct one for the correct octave. So in the next couple of minutes, I'm going to show you which trill key you use for our middle octave C and which one we use for our higher octave C. Not talking about the super low one at the foot joint, but the one in the staff and then the one right above the staff. So when we trill C, we're going to use our trill keys here. If you haven't gotten to these yet and you've never used them and you're not sure what they are, that's what they're for. So they are for trilling. So sometimes people think that they can be used interchangeably, but that isn't exactly correct. You'll notice when you press the trill keys, the keys up here at the top of the flute, close to the head joint, are the ones that get opened when you press those keys. So because they are different keys that are opened, they do have a different effect on the pitch of the note that you're trilling. So when we're trilling between the notes C and D, you're going to use these trill keys. For the C that's in the staff, I'm going to use my first trill key. And the first one that I'm talking about is going to be the one that is right here. And it's the one that's closer to the head joint of the flute, not the foot joint. So that first trill key. Now, if I use the second trill key, the one that's closer to the foot joint, it's going to be out of tune. I don't want that one. Right? So I'm going to use that first trill key. Now, can I use that for the upper octave? No, it's not going to work. So if I play the next C, let me use that first trill key. Tell me what you think. Does that sound correct? It's not. It's out of tune. That's when I used the first trill key for the upper octave. Let me use the second one and see what your ears are telling you. That sounds better, right? Okay, so here's how you can remember that, or some tests that you can do to make sure that you're playing the right trill key. So the first thing is to memorize it, which might take a little bit of time, right? So if you haven't memorized it right away, or you're just second guessing yourself, you can either check a fingering chart, so a trill fingering chart. So if you are playing in band, for example, look at your actual fingering chart and then see if there's a page that has trills listed in it. If not, you can find them in flute books, specific flute method books, or you can find decent ones online as well. If you can't remember and you can't find a chart, you can use your ear to tell you. So when I'm trilling from C to D, what I'm going to do, if I can't remember the right trill key, I'm going to play C, and then I'm going to play the actual D. Now, I'm not going to trill between those because that's messy, and that's why we have the trill keys in the first place. But I'm just going to remind my ear what it is I'm listening for. And then I'm going to try the trill keys and decide which one is the closest to those actual notes. So here's C to D. It's not that second one. It's not this. It's that first one, and I've confirmed it with my ear. Let's try it with the second octave. So I'm going to make the same test. I'm going to play the actual notes, just to remind my ear what I'm listening for, and then try the trill keys. Second one is closest for that upper octave, okay? So that's your test. If you don't have it memorized yet and you cannot find a trill chart, then play the actual note C to D, remember that with your ear, and then try the trill keys until you hear the one that is the closest to the actual notes. If that helped, Make sure you subscribe for lots and lots of flute tips and tricks. And if you need additional help, find my contact info below. We'll see you next time.